And certainly do appreciate some of our coaches being here and certainly some of our baseball supporters. And obviously, you guys that cover us in the media, we appreciate all of you being here. It's been a fun few days here in athletics. Get a chance to welcome Sunny Golloway and his wife Charlotte and daughter Taylor and his son Callan here. We've gotten to know them over the last 24 hours, and you're going to find that not only we're going to have a chance to win some baseball games, but they're going to be great people in the community, people of character and integrity, and we're certainly excited to have them here. As we've been through the process the last couple of weeks, I certainly want to thank Joe Beckwith and Tim Hudson for their help throughout this process, and certainly many of you that are here that have offered your advice and opinions about who we should be looking at, what the qualities are and the characteristics of our next head baseball coach. So thank all of you, and certainly appreciate those two guys' input as well. But when we started out, we wanted to hire a coach that was a proven winner and someone that had a history of a proven track record of winning, someone that had a history of a proven track record of developing players. And Sunny has had over 100 players drafted, and he's been to 14 of the last 15 NCAA regionals. That's really important. But the thing that we all came to love and admire about Coach was his character and his integrity. He's a teacher. He wants to invest in these young men's lives in every possible way, not just on the baseball diamond, but in their life. So we're excited certainly to have him and Charlotte and the family here. And please join me in welcoming our new head baseball coach, Sunny Golloway. Sunny. Can you hear me, Steve, okay?
Well, let's start off and get this right. War Eagle.
War Eagle.
Really excited. Very, very excited to be here today, and very humbled by the opportunity to be the new baseball coach at Auburn University and be part of Auburn University's family. And it's been a crazy week since the Super Regional. To be quite honest with you, I wish maybe we had to prolong this one more week. And I was getting back from Omaha, but I will tell you this: regardless of the outcome of this year's season, it would not have made a difference. This is a place that we're excited about being, that we desire to be at, and it's become home real quick. My wife, Charlotte, is here with me, of course. As Jay said, my daughter, Taylor, and my son, Callan, my little switch-hitting shortstop. He's a heck of a player, by the way. Taylor just got through graduating from the University of Oklahoma. Very proud of her. She was the captain of the cheer squad there, and she wants to make Auburn her home and come with us, and we're excited about that. My oldest daughter, Sunny, is home with my first grandson, Gunner, and making sure that he's eating right so that he'll be one heck of a ball player someday, hopefully right here at Auburn. And her husband, Jared. They could not be with us, but that's our immediate family, and we're all excited about joining the Auburn University baseball family and the athletics department family and the university family. A little bit about the decision, to come here and be a part of this great institution and where I've been is it's real simple. I found out very early that there's a commitment to win championships, and that's what we're about. We've been very fortunate to do that. We've been very fortunate to win and be a part of a lot of championships. And in the early 90s, I had the distinct pleasure of competing against Coach Hal Baird. And one was in the '94 World Series. His Auburn baseball team had qualified, and we were fortunate enough to win the national championship that year. I was an assistant on that Oklahoma Sooner baseball club. And then in '95, Auburn University had to come to Oklahoma City for a very, very tough task in competing in the regional in Oklahoma City. And I got to know, and I got to observe, and I got to watch Coach Hal Baird, and a true gentleman of the game. And I've always admired him from afar, and I had some brief conversations with Coach Baird, and he told me an awful lot about it, but the most important thing is about the people that live here in Auburn, the people of Alabama, and the commitment. So we were very intrigued, and with the opportunity of coming and getting to meet President and to meet Jay Jacobs, we were very impressed. I know that the first opportunity when I came in, I got to meet Joe Beckwith, former player, and I've really enjoyed getting to know Joe and his passion for the program, and Tim Hudson and Tim's passion and desire for Auburn baseball to be a winner and a champion. And when I went back, I told my wife, I said, "You're really going to love these people. I promise you." I said, "When you land in Auburn, you're going to find out what I already know. It's about the people there. It's about Jay Jacobs, and just the feel that we have gotten from him, and I want to work with him is the bottom line." And so the commitment's there to win championships, and we're committed to do that. It's going to be about going out and recruiting the best student athletes that we can find and coaching up our current student athletes, and excited about doing that. As I've scouted it a little bit, I've heard nothing but good things, that there's some tremendous athletes on campus right now, and I know that we're in a hotbed for baseball talent, and we're going to be able to bring those athletes and have them be student athletes here at Auburn University. So again, just comes back to being excited. A lot of people have asked me too, said, "Hey, you know the SEC now and the reputation," and I said, "Hey, that's what we're looking forward to." With the SEC getting 9 teams in the NCAA tournament, 2 of those moving on to the NCAA College World Series this week, and I won't say we had the pleasure, we had the opportunity of going to South Carolina last year for a super regional, and we competed, but they were at home, and their fans got after us pretty good, and they had a pretty good baseball team after winning 2 back-to-back national championships. Ray Tanner's a very good friend of mine, and he's helped me an awful lot in my career, and of course now he has moved into the university's athletic director position, and then going into LSU this past year. Our baseball team spent the last 6 weeks on the road, and LSU had the advantage of competing well at home and playing what I would call a tired Oklahoma baseball team after 6 weeks on the road. But I'm very proud of those young men that I'm now moving on from and had the pleasure of coaching. But I did say that getting to compete against those programs in the conference is very exciting. We're looking forward to that challenge, and so bottom line, and I guess we'll open it up for questioning, but I'm excited to be here, very excited.
Go ahead and take questions. Coach?
Coach, just talk about your recruiting base. You've been in Oklahoma, pretty much your entire coaching career. Where do you hope to focus at Auburn? Do you have some prior connections to the Southeast and recruiting base?
Well, when it comes to recruiting and it comes to the university, that was something that Jay and I talked about during the process. And for me, it's real simple. If you know baseball and you know talent, and you have a proven university that young men desire to go to, it's an easy fit. And so I will tell you this, we know Atlanta, we know the East Cobb League, of course. There's not a quality program in the United States that doesn't. And you know what, we have had athletes in the past, in the previous stop, where we've recruited from Florida all the way to California. Now, as far as right here in this hotbed, it's been tougher to pull them out of the SEC conference, being a Big 12. But now, being here at Auburn University, these young men are going to desire coming and playing here at this university. It's very simple. You drive around this campus, and I can only imagine what it's going to be like on football game day when we're recruiting them and bringing them in. But beautiful campus. And Jay and I talked about this. You can have brick and mortar, you can spend a lot of money, you can have beautiful things, but the people that are showing you those things and the people that you're going to be working with aren't also beautiful people. It won't matter. And that is where we've been the most impressed, beautiful people. So the question about recruiting is not going to be a problem. We're going to hit the ground with our feet running, and we're going to go out and we're going to win those battles. And I love the part of that that part of the job. I love the chase. I love the competition. And in my visits with with Jay, you win your NCAA bid, you win your championships in the summer and in the fall. In the springtime, you have the pleasure of watching them play. You know, you might call a bunt and a hit and a run, but your training's already been done, and you stay after them, you stay focused on what you taught them, and you've got to have the right athletes and the right character on the field doing that.
So you're obviously reading a lot at Oklahoma. When was in the past week that you knew that you'd be making this move? What was the moment? What was that persuasive?
Well, the minute I met Jay Jacobs, the intrigue is because of the university. The intrigue is because of what Coach Baird has done here in the past. I had a couple of brief conversations with Coach Baird, but when I met Jay, and I knew there was a commitment to win the championships. And sometimes when you sit down with people, you just hit it off and you know. And I'm one of those people, you know, I know in my gut, I know when to make the pitching change, I know when to call the hit and run, and I'll know when to lay down that bunt, and I'll also know when to make a move. We've been offered opportunities. I won't get into the particular schools, but I've had the opportunity to come to the SEC conference in the past, and it wasn't the right time in life. And you know, we're about teaching life lessons, not just squaring up a baseball, and not just about letting it fly defensively and getting on the mound and pounding the strike zone. And our student athletes are going to understand in their life, for the rest of their life, that you know, God has a plan and He has a flow to your life. And sometimes you try to speed that up and you get into some roaring rapids and you end up running into a waterfall. And that's not desirable, but you also don't want to sit there on the side and be in stagnant water. So the timing of life was perfect, and I know that God has had His hand on this move, and I also know that the destination, you know, for us is to be right here speaking with you at this time. And so I knew for sure once I met Jay Jacobs, I couldn't get my family here quick enough to meet him.
Coach, could you talk about your staff? Have you got anybody lined up yet?
Yeah, I've got a couple of staff members, matter of fact, that have made the trip with me here, and you know, they got to make sure that their family is on board before I actually announce them, but everything looks really good, and that's part of putting together. You're only as good as the people around you, and we're going to make sure we're surrounded with quality people, just not just in our coaching staff, but support staff, our student athletes, everyone, and make sure that everybody understands and buys in. You know, baseball and coaching baseball and the program is a system. It's that simple. And the system's solid, the system's proven, the system will win, and it's about discipline, it's about commitment, and it's about passion and love for the game. You know, I've not heard one umpire crawl back behind that play and say, okay, work ball. He says play ball. So we're very fortunate. We get to play, and the coaches that are going to come are going to have a smile on their face, and they're going to coach them up and teach them up. And I've always said this, you know what? Players don't necessarily want to know how much you know. I mean, you're not going to get the blessed opportunity to be the head baseball coach at Auburn University, and be a part of this great community and this family. Jay Jacobs is not going to give you that opportunity unless you know what you're doing. So those student athletes trust the administration. They're going to know that they have a coaching staff that knows what they want to know is how much we care about it. And that's where we'll make it sure. I've never coached a player. When I go in and recruit, when my coaches go in, we're not going to lie to them and say, hey, we love you, we just met you. But what we tell them is within a year in our program, we're going to grow to love you. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And we want them to come, and we want them to be a part of our family, not just for the time they compete here, but for life.
It seems to me like pitching and defense are pretty urgent issues in college baseball. The mats come down. Talk about your philosophy of coaching college baseball. What's important to you in your team's play?
Well, pitching and defense are what win championships. There's no doubt about that. And you know, fortunately we had that, but then you've got to be able to score some runs once that pitching and defense is shutting them down. And so that's really where the game has changed, and you have to change with the game. The student athletes have also changed over the course of time. That's one of the things that Coach Baird and I talked about. You know, in the old school day, and you didn't have limitations. If you wanted to practice for 6 hours, you could do that. But we weren't smart enough back in the 90s to understand we were probably losing those student athletes after the 3rd or 4th hour. We were pretty much coaching that last hour for ourselves. But you know what? You got to get them on the yard. You got to make them understand it's about today. and it's about what we need to do to be better today. And it's about pitching and defense, and then we're going to put a lot of, to answer your question, we'll put a lot of pressure on our opponents. We're going to, get moving. We're going to have guys that can steal bases. We had a tremendous compliment, and at the time, I laughed about it, but it's by somebody that I respected in our conference. But they called us at Oklahoma like the Cal State Fullerton of the Midwest because of the way we play the game. We're going to put a tremendous amount of pressure. And the comment was, you don't know what they're going to do or when they're going to do it, but they're going to do it. And so that kind of sums it up. You don't have to know when we're going to or how we're going to, but we're going to do it. And we're going to keep you on your toes, and we're going to make you play defense. We're going to make you pitch to beat us. And, there's philosophies that are going to be and part of the system. When we're up, we're going to make you throw us out. And if we're behind, we won't take as many risks as far as trying to score that extra run at home. We'll let the next guy drive us in. But it's all part of baseball. Baseball, to me, is a risk versus reward sport. And you've got to teach your student athletes that. And once they understand that and they grasp the concept and they understand that they are really one, playing a team sport, because you got one guy going to the plate. And the last thing that I'll elaborate on with that is about the mental toughness. You've got to play this sport. I mean, let's think about it. You're going to fail 7 out of 10 times at the plate. I don't think Coach Malzahn's going to be okay with that if that's our completion rate from our quarterback. And I know in basketball, if our 1 and 2 are shooting at that rate, they're probably not going to be on the court very long. But in baseball, that'll sure get you the Hall of Fame in the big leagues. And if we've got 9 guys getting that done in our lineup, we're going to win an awful lot of baseball games and an awful lot of championships. So we've got to make sure our young men understand that we've got to learn to deal with the small failures to have the team success. And that's about mental toughness. And that's about us being together. I'll tell you, if you're having a bad day and you're 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts, the quickest way for you to get over that day is to turn around and encourage one of your teammates or congratulate one of your teammates that's gone 2 for 3. Because sure enough, tomorrow you're going to be the guy going 2 for 3, and he's going to be going 0 for 3, but it'll be a different group of guys. We've just got to have at least 4 or 5, out of our 9 having a good day, and we'll have different guys that pick us up, and we'll have a couple of horses in there that we surely don't have off and on days too often, but we'll play it as a team, and we'll be mentally tough.
Any other questions for Coach?